Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel. Peter, boom, boom, likes books. Okay, today I am doing a haul video. I haven't done a haul video, a haul video on this channel. I haven't done a haul video on this channel in quite some time, but this is a different kind of haul video. Today I'm gonna do a haul of all the Audible books that I have bought. Now, if you watch all of my channels, well, really my vlog and this channel, you probably know that I'm obsessed with Audible. I get the 2 credits a month, so I get 2 books that I get to pick. And then I end up usually buying 3 more books a month. So needless to say, oh, and I do the daily deal, because every day they have a daily deal over there. It's like $1.95 to like, I think the most it goes to is like $4.95, but they always have some book that does, it's on the Audible daily deal, and you get a little email about it, or you can go in there and check it. I love just looking through the Audible. And I'm obsessed with it. And no, this video is not sponsored. God, I wish. Okay, as much as I talk about Audible, listen, I don't even care if it's sponsored. I just wish they would give me like free whatever, because I'm obsessed with Audible. But I love supporting it, and I love supporting the authors over there as well. So, y'all know I love the Audible, right? Well, I'm constantly on there buying stuff. They, about twice a year, I think it is twice a year, they have a huge sale where like anything on your wish list is a certain amount off. They do a giveaway where like 1 or 2 people, I think, win their entire wish list for a year, which is fantastic. So I'm constantly adding stuff to my wish list. In case I am the lucky person that one day wins my wish list, I would love to win my wish list on Goodreads, I love Goodreads too, but that's free. I would love to win my wish list on Audible. That was like my dream, at the top of my bucket list dreams, I guess. But anyway, so I'm gonna go through, hey Du, did you ever see Coal Miner's Daughter? Oh, about Loretta Lynn, and her husband's name was Du. Anyway, so not Mountain Dew, but Du. So anyway, I'm going to go in and I'm going to read you guys, I'm going to tell you the Audible books I bought recently. But before I do that, I want to talk about some books that were sent to me. And well, there's 2 that were sent to me by the author, and then there was 1 that was sent to me just because somebody knows that I love this person so much. Here's the thing, okay? I had all of my post office stuff together because I was going to put it in my vlog, and I was going to mention this in a vlog, and I somehow lost the package that had the little note in it. So I don't know who sent this to me now, but could you please let me know? Send me an email, send me a direct message, put it in the comment sections below, somehow get in touch with me and let me know, and then make sure that I acknowledge it, because I want to thank you so much. And that is Living Like a Runaway, Lita Ford's national best-selling memoir. Now, if you don't know, what you don't know is a lot. Cherry Run, oh my God, I was gonna say the Runaways, Cherry Bomb. I am a huge Runaways fan, okay? Back in the day, I was a huge Runaways fan. I love the Runaways. I don't love the movie that they made about them. The movie is really horrible, but I will say there was a documentary about the Runaways. I don't know what it's called. But it has all of them in there. Joan Jett, and it has, what's her face? Oh, Cherry, oh God, I can't think of what her name is, but she's like my favorite. And she was in movies in the 70s too. She was in Foxes with Jodie Foster. She was in a couple other movies, and she is so great. But anyway, they're all in it. It shows what they're doing today. Well, Lita Ford, okay, if you watch my Peter Monn channel, which many of you probably don't, but if you watch my Peter Monn video or channel, I sing a song at the beginning sometimes. And one of the songs that I sing is Lita Ford's Kiss Me Deadly. I went to a party last Saturday night. Anyway, so I love Lita Ford so much. And this is her memoir, and I didn't even know it existed. So I was so excited when this came in the mail. So the mother of all metal bears all. Wielding her signature black guitar, Lita Ford shredded the stereotypes of female musicians throughout the 1970s and 1980s. And this is one of the things that I loved about the Runaways, right? Was that it was 4 young girls that showed empowerment, and I just love the message of the Runaways. And they were like literally the first all-female glam rock band, heavy metal band, and I just love them for that. So anyway, starting with the world's first major all-female rock group, the Runaways, and as a platinum-selling solo artist who shared the bill with the Ramones, Van Halen, Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, Poison, a lot of my favorites, okay, and others, and who gave Ozzy Osbourne his first top 10 hit. Then followed more than a decade of silence and darkness, a tumultuous marriage that left her feeling trapped, isolated from the rock and roll scene for more than a decade, and most tragically, alienated from her 2 beloved sons. Living Like a Runaway is Lita Ford's epic story, the dramatic chronicle of a pioneer who became heavy rock's first female guitar hero, Washington Post, of a fierce woman who kicked ass in the male-dominated rock scene, and of a returning queen who has reclaimed her soul and stormed back to the stage as badass as ever. That almost kind of moves me to tears a little bit, honestly. You guys have no idea, like, I'm a huge Lita Ford fan, and so yeah, I'm really, really excited about reading this. I love to read, and I don't talk about this on this channel very often because I haven't in a while, but I love to read rock memoirs, and one of my favorites is called Dark Star, and it is the oral biography of Jerry Garcia, and it is with Chris Christopherson and Grace Slick, and there's a bunch of people in there that lived with Jerry Garcia in the Haight, Ashbury back in the day, and that they would, like, Chris Christopherson talks about how Jerry practiced a 12-string classical guitar, like, all day long, and how dedicated he was to the music. And it takes you all through his entire life, from, like, his younger years of living in this communal living house in the Haight, all the way through. It's one of the greatest biographies, rock biographies ever about Jerry Garcia, or about any, I think, musician. But I will tell you this, if you've ever read, like, Pamela DeBar's I'm With the Band, which I started years and years ago, but I don't, these rock memoirs, you guys, are fantastic. So I just want to thank whoever sent this to me. Please reach out to me and let me know who you are, because I want to thank you appropriately. That meant the world to me. Okay, the next thing I want to do is, this person has reached out to me too, and I think in a direct message or email, and that is Krina, and C-R-I-N-A. Krina's book is called Whispers and Other Strange Stories by Krina Ludmila, I'm going to mispronounce his name, I'm sorry Krina, Christia, and I will link the information for this below. And she sent me two, okay, one for myself and one for my husband Alex, which was so sweet, and she has her artwork in here and stuff as well, and I'll show you. It's very, very cool, okay? Let me read you the back of it a little bit. This is a quote about it. A profound darkness radiates from this book, yet each whisper conveys an unnatural beauty. Krina has woven a surreal think piece on the soul of horror. Felix Blackwell from In the Devil's Dreams. Nightmares and creatures, trapped individuals, childhood ghosts, drops of rain, drops of blood, stars and snowflakes, trees and roots, and birds and flames, life, death, and ultimately, light. These short, dark stories will captivate the heart and imagination. Hauntings might occur. You have been warned. From front cover art by Vanessa Tavares, interior drawings by Flora Christia. So, available in print and digital formats, and I will link this below so you guys can go check it out. So thank you so much, Krina, for sending both of these to my husband and I. I really, really appreciate it. Okay. And then the last one that I want to show is Indo Human Love vs. Judy, Book 1 by Nick Dream. I think he's actually sent this to me before, and I showed it on here, but I want to mention it again for those people that love fantasy, and I will link this below as well. Indo-humans are not destined for love. It is against the ancient rules. 18-year-old Adam Vanoff is about to become the last known Indo-human left on Earth as his dying grandfather rushes to complete his training. These superhuman hybrids live concealed amongst us, sworn to protect mankind and safeguard an almost forgotten secret that is rooted back to the creation of man and the universe. Alas, the life and path an Indo-human must follow is lonely and dangerous, especially for a teenager trying to unravel the mystery that his ancestry hides. Gods, vampires, werewolves, fallen angels, or just a creation of an unstable mind. An ancient evil is awakening, and even though he doesn't know it, the world needs Adam now more than ever. Yet Adam also needs love, so when he meets Evie, the girl of his dreams, a difficult choice must be made. And there's a bunch of reviews underneath here as well. And I will link this underneath there where you guys can get it. I think you can probably get it on Amazon. And thank you, Nick. Nick is always so supportive of me on all of my channels. He has been just deeply, deeply supportive of me, and I really, really appreciate it. So here it is, Indo-Human. Very cool cover. So this cover is beautiful as well. And I also have to say the Lita Ford cover. Oh my God! Okay. So let's get into the Audible books that I have bought recently. Now, I don't know the last time I did a haul in here, so I'm just going to kind of rip through them real quick. And I don't know a lot about some of these books, but currently I am reading Brave Face by Sean David Hutchinson. It is his memoir. I'm not going to show the covers for any of these. Go check it out. But I will tell you that I did not love the cover of this book for probably, I would say, I'm listening to it on Audible, like the first 4 hours. I just was like, I don't like this cover, okay? It just looks very amateur to me and whatever. And then the cover is explained in the book, and I immediately fell in love with the cover. Like, does that ever happen? happen to you. So Sean David Hutchinson is the author of We Are the Ants. He also is the author of The Edge of the Universe and the other one. He's a couple books. He's got like, I think 5 or 6 books out now. And this is a memoir about his coming out in high school and younger than that, and it goes into college. And well, it may go past that, I don't know, but that's where I'm at right now, and I have about an hour and a half left. It is fantastic. You guys, I'm going to do a full review of it over here because I think this book is so important. And it talks about different identification and how we feel and, you know, coming out and how our stories are different. But what is so weird, okay? And he and I are about 5 or 6 years of difference in age, I think. Yeah, because he graduates in 1996 and I graduated in 1990. So I think we're about 6 years age difference. He and I, our stories are almost like identical. It's so strange, you guys, except for that I was bullied a lot, and he didn't really experience that in high school, or he doesn't talk about experiencing that in high school a little bit, but not too much. But the way that he looks at the world and the way that I looked at the world, or the way that he looked at the world and the way that I looked at the world are very, very similar. It's a fantastic memoir, you guys. I'm like in love with it. So that is Brave Face, a memoir. And then I'm also, the next book that I'm going to be reading is Killer Clown about John Wayne Gacy. So we are doing a Summer of Serial Killers on Peter's Book Club, or in Peter's Book Club. And for June, we are reading Killer Clown by John Wayne, the John Wayne Gacy story, who was a guy in Illinois that was very public. And do you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay, so he was really well respected in his community, but he was killing all these guys and burying them underneath his house, and he dressed up as a clown for kids. I know, right? So anyway, I have heard this book is fantastic, you guys, and I have not started it yet, and I am really, really excited about starting it. But I'm a little nervous about starting this weekend because it's a PP and Peter's bachelor weekend, which means my husband is going out of town for 2 nights, and so I'm going to be here. I might have one of my good Judys come and stay with me, because I don't know. Like, I'm listening to that and reading Helter Skelter at the same time about Charles Manson. I don't know that I'm going to be, like, okay by myself. So, and I always have some kind of scary movie on in the background. So anyway, that's what I'm listening to. Then I also bought, and this was super cheap, it was like 48 cents. I bought Orson Welles' Campbell Playhouse version of Our Town. My mom and I used to listen to this all the time back in the day. And it's not actually, I don't think it's the full adaptation of the Thornton Wilder play, but I haven't heard it in a really long time, and I don't even know that I could name characters for you, in all honesty, but I just remember that when I was younger, and I mean younger, listening to, we would like be in the kitchen, my mom would be making coffee, cleaning the dinner plates and stuff like that, and I'd be sitting at the kitchen counter just like, you know, doing whatever, probably playing with paper dolls, and we would have this playing on in the background. Like, this was one of the tapes that I had back in the day, because I used to listen to radio tapes. And I loved the story of Our Town. It always just, I don't know, it made me feel very homey. And so I wanted to listen to it again this summer. And then, okay, this one I'm very, very excited about. I got Carrie Mora, which is the new novel by Thomas Harris, who wrote Silence of the Lambs. Now, he hasn't put a book out in a really, really long time. I was a little disappointed when I got this book and it was 6 hours and 8 minutes. Okay, that is a really, really short book. Just to put this in perspective, my audiobook, I think, for my book that I wrote, Before, Now, and After Then, is like 6 hours and 45 minutes, and it's like 280 pages. So this is really short. It's like 200-page book. I don't know. That being said, now I can never pronounce this guy's name. Paolo Colo, who wrote, oh, I can't think of the book that he wrote that he's famous for. But a couple years ago, I read The Spy. Somebody actually gifted that to me on Audible. Thank you. And that was fantastic. That was really fantastic. And it was like an hour and a half. It was really short. So I don't think the duration really matters. I actually like shorter audiobooks than longer ones, because if it's too long, I have a hard time getting into it. This is about hidden treasure in Miami, Florida. So I'm super excited about this one because I love Miami. And then I got a book called The Music of What Happens by Bill Konigsberg. Bill Konigsberg is a young adult writer. He wrote a book called Openly Straight. I think that's what it's called. It was a fantastic young adult gay book, and it was just really, really well done. I was very impressed with it. He's written some other books. He's written, that was from a gay character's point of view that falls in love with a straight character, and then he has another book that is from the straight character's point of view. I haven't read that, but he is just a phenomenal writer, and I enjoyed his storytelling so much, so I got that book. And then I also got Truth and Lies, D.I. Amy something Winter. I don't know. This was a mystery on the daily deals, and I always think, well, I'm going to start a series. So I bought that one. I don't know anything about it. And then I got The Mystery of Alice. I don't know anything about that either. That was on the Daily Deal. And then I got, oh my God, I got The Wild Heart of Stevie Nicks, which is, I think it's the unauthorized biography of Stevie Nicks. Now, if you don't know, besides Lita Ford, I am also a huge Stevie Nicks fan, okay? Huge. I like huge. Rock on, gold dust woman, Rhiannon rings like a bell through the night, and wouldn't you love to love her? Okay, I listen to Stevie Nicks all the time, so I love her. But anyway, I've heard really good things about it. And then I got Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Taylor Jenkins Reid is the author of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which was probably my favorite book of the last 5 years. This is her newest book. It's supposed to be, my good Judy Tanya just finished it. She did not love it as much as Evelyn Hugo, but she said it was really good. She said it reminded her a lot of the movie Almost Famous, that you follow like a rock band. And so she said it was really good. There's kind of a theme here, don't you think? Okay, oh my God, I just went into On the Come Up. Okay, so I have On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I guess I could talk about that. I'm halfway through it and I stopped it to read the book club book for last month, and I haven't finished it yet. I will say this about On the Come Up. It's really, really well done. But if you're going into it to read, like, and I think this is important, you know, like a lot of the authors that I love, none of their books are comparable to the one that they wrote before. They're very different, and I like that, right? Like, I don't like to, I used to love John Green, but like, it's like so many of his books are like, oh, teen angst again? Okay. You know what I mean? Like, hey, John, why don't you write an adult book? That's what I would like to see. Like, something completely different, you know? So to compare On the Come Up with The Hate You Give, you can't do it. They are two completely different novels. Bree and Star are two completely different characters, both just so fantastically, I think, written and told in their own light. But if you're going into it with thinking this is like, what's interesting is that she references what happens in The Hate You Give and On the Come Up, but it's a completely different book, and it's a completely different character and a different character's point of view. And I love it. It's really good. It's just completely, it's about a young girl that wants to be a rap star and her getting like the rise into that world and how it all starts. And it's very interesting to me because I don't really know a whole lot about that. So it's very well done. And then I got another one called The Dispatcher by John Scalzi. I don't know anything about that. It was a Daily Deal. And then I got a bunch of these, Riley Mack and the other note. Oh, no, I know how this is, how I'm getting these books. Okay. So when you have an Audible membership, you get to pick 2 originals out of 5 books every month. And they have 5 originals that are like Audible originals, and then you get to pick 2 for free. So you really get like 3 free books a month or 4 free books a month, depending on how your membership works. And then I got Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. Now, I have heard about Alice Oseman so much. I don't know anything about this book. It's supposedly something about a radio show. And I have heard like 3 or 4 of her books, people are just like dying talking about. Apparently they're making one of her books, or she's making one of her books into a graphic novel that's coming out this year. But I have heard so many fantastic things about Alice Oseman, so I wanted to try one of her books. I might actually read that next before the book club book. So if you guys know anything about her, let me know. By the way, can I just tell you, do you know who followed me on Twitter? I died. Courtney Summers, who wrote Sadie. She watches my videos. I could not believe it. I about died, okay? She even know I had a booktube channel. I was like, oh my God, you're one of my favorite authors of life. I love Sadie. Sadie is what I have her second book and I haven't read it yet. Okay, and then I bought The Lady from the Black Lagoon by Mallory O'Meara. I feel like I'm kind of getting into maybe some books that I already talked about on here in a haul, but this is a nonfiction, I think it's a nonfiction book, and it is about this woman that was like the very first special effects woman ever, and how her story just kind of never got told. And she was like one of the very first women that ever did special effects. And I really like to read nonfiction about that, like about really obscure topics. And it's about this girl, and maybe it's a fiction, I don't know, but I think it's nonfiction. And it's about this woman, and she like is special effects like today, and she goes back to find this woman and find her story. So the cover is beautiful too. I'd show you, but I'm worn out on receipts today. And then I got White Trash Zombie Apocalypse by Diana Rowland. If you like zombies and you have not read White Trash Zombie or the series, I'm on book 3. Do yourself a favor this summer and read White Trash Zombie. It is probably, well, I'll tell you this, okay? I mean, everybody has their favorite zombie books out there. My favorite are the As the World Dies by Rhiannon Frater. Oh, I just could have had that series go on forever and ever and ever. Do you ever feel like that with a series? This video is getting so long. Do you ever have that with a series? You just want it to go on and on forever? Well, that's what I wanted with As the World Dies, but it doesn't. It ends after 3 books. I think it was one huge book and she split it up into 3. So what I missed in As the World Dies, I found kind of indirectly with White Trash Zombie by Diana Rowland. They are so fantastically written. They're so good. So good, okay? And it's a different spin on the whole zombie thing. And then I got The Past and Other Things that, I don't know the rest of the title, by Sean David Hutchinson. That's another one of his new books. It's supposed to be fantastic. And I think I've gone in here and I've talked about all the rest of these. So, yeah, I have. So, you guys listen, I have so many books. Oh, and my battery's about to die. So look at this, all these audiobooks that I haven't read. I mean, it's time to get to listening. Okay, so anyway, what was some of my very first ones back in the day? I don't even know what these books are about. Me Talk Pretty One Day by David Sedaris. I've been meaning to listen to that forever. So anyway, we did his Christmas book last year for the book club. If you haven't checked out the book club, it's listed below. If you're on Goodreads and you haven't friended me, why not? I accept everybody's friendship. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next booktube video. Bye.